What's up, guys? Welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode, we explored this second level area of the Temple of Aethys. We found some really nice loot, and we also discovered the remains of the priests and kind of uncovered part of some sort of plot and or scheme. And now we're going to go talk to Wyrton to figure out why he really sent us down here.
Right.
So let's head on out. Looks like we have an altar up here. As you step over the circle of candles, you hear a rattling clunk from the wall nearby. The door slides open with a grinding rasp of stone. Alright, so that's going to be our way out. The candles flicker gently as you approach. There's a gap above the altar lined with broken glass where a mirror may once have been set into the wall. Eder, the candles are still burning. Not bad for a dead god. What's this all for? Redemption. They got this whole right for when you come of age. They take you by the hand and you descend through the temple with your eyes covered, and that's supposed to be like a wicked life. They don't tell you where you're going. I was sweating like crazy when I did mine. He winks. They take you to that reflecting pool back there, and you're allowed to look at it so you can face your sins. Then you come out into a room and they uncover your eyes again, and everyone's there to greet you, all your friends and family, and it's like you've been redeemed. You light your candle and it burns with the others. Never had a feeling better than that my whole life. Eder's eyes linger on the candles, and he seems for a moment to be a younger man. The candles are still burning, not bad for a dead god. Let's snuff a candle. You reach out to pinch one of the burning wicks. The smoke rises in a thin trail from the candle. Nothing else appears to happen. They made him strong enough to survive time, but not thoughtlessness, looks like. So it doesn't seem that Eder approves. That's fine. Alright, and we need to head on out. It was nice to see those candles still burning. I figured they'd have gone out by now. Just double checking, making sure there aren't any other ghosties. They're going to try to come get us. Alright, let's head on out of here. And before we talk to Wyrton, I do want to drop a quick save.
Hail, traveler.
Wyrton smiles nervously as you approach. Think I've sorted out the worst of it. Arm's hurting a little less. He hesitates. You were down there a while. Did you find anything? His eyes dart constantly about the ruins. You lied to me. What? Wyrton grins uncertainly. I was clear about everything. The risk involved. Is that what you mean? I did say there'd be spiders, and I'll pay you, of course, for the trouble. Alright, so we got a few options here. All stat-based. Resolve of 14 gives us, you and I both know what I saw down there and what they told me. Might. We can lift him off his feet. I will crack your head in two if you lie to me again. Perception. You're very nervous for an honest man. Something weighing on your conscience, maybe? Let's go with that one. Wyrton opens his mouth to protest, but something in your expression stops him. He swallows nervously and looks away. His voice, when he speaks, is small. How did you... That place is full of shadows, spirits of those you killed. That's not... He eyes you fearfully. I didn't kill them. Right up until the end, You don't understand. I tried to help them. I did. Every day. Every single day. I went to that temple and I warned them. I told them that they were playing with fire and Raedric wouldn't be patient forever. And every time they'd shrug it off. Like I didn't know what I was talking about. Like it wasn't costing me coming in to try to help them. I could have been arrested right alongside them. What happened? Raedric sent word he was going to have them arrested. Dragged them out. Locked them up. They wouldn't listen. The Raedrics said they'd be reborn if anything should happen, and she wasn't afraid. I convinced them to hide, at least. They have that vault full of old relics, gold and such. I thought they could hide in there, and once the guards left, they'd have something to sell for passage out of the Deerwood, back to Eder. But when I told the men that the priest had already gone, they ordered the temple sealed, and I couldn't get in again. Wyrton shakes his head. There was nothing I could do. Eder's eyes are wide, disbelieving. Nothing you could do but tell someone, get the town together, organize a rescue. I'd have dug them out with my own hands if I'd known. They were some of the last decent folk left in this hole. Now all we got left is people like you. Why did you send me down there? Because if Lord Raedric means to have the temple cleared, they would have found the bones eventually. They'd know I lied to them when I said the priest left, and I'd hang. Wharton's shoulders sag. I don't know if Raedric would have killed them. Maybe they'd be languishing in cells now. Maybe they'd be off somewhere in the Empire, and I'd have a night's peace. I told you the way of it, Wharton says, his voice rough. I told you what happened. Guess it's your turn now to make a decision. I don't necessarily want to kill him. He was trying to help the people. He ended up getting them killed. But he was trying to help them. And also, I think killing him would be a little easy. Whereas letting him live, he would have to live with the guilt. So I think I just want my money, and you handle your own business. You what? Wharton looks stunned briefly before he shakes himself into action. Of course, here. Wharton takes a coin purse from his belt and shoves it at you, as promised. You want this to stay between us. You better reach deeper into your pockets. Wharton shoots you a resentful look, but he searches what pockets he has and hands you another, lighter purse. That's all I have. Please, don't tell anyone. I'll bury them, like I said. He takes up the grisly bundle of remains before taking off at a run. Sorry about that little jump. Had a tickle in my throat. Had to pause the recording. So, we got some coin. We got 250. And we got a good amount of XP. Now, I don't know how I feel about this whole situation. Because, well, I just don't. I mean, he got a lot of people killed by trying to do the right thing. And if he wasn't such a coward, maybe they'd all still be alive. But he was a coward, and they're all dead. I think what we're going to do is go have a chat with Pasha. And maybe see about
good day to you.
Getting some camping supplies if she has any. She does. And we can take one, and also let's sell this stuff to her. I know she's not the armorsmith, but maybe she shouldn't accept this stuff if she doesn't want it. This is a lot. And I did end up watching it was a few videos back where I got a cloak and I didn't know how I got it. I did watch the video and noticed that I double clicked. I don't know if I mentioned this already. Yeah, I double clicked, and you should only single click if you want to sell stuff. And I'll just get rid of this stuff. We don't really need it. Right of youthful spirits. I think that's a speed buff. What kind of stuff do you have? I think it's weird that she doesn't sell any cooking supplies. But she's going to give us 4,047 copper. So I will definitely take that. And let's go see if maybe Tenfirth has some cooking supplies. Nope, he's just going to name a dish in our honor. Actually, Pasha,
well met, friend.
if you wouldn't mind, I'd like a room. And I guess let's go ahead and splurge for the big boy room, since we did extort a little bit of extra money out of poor old Wharton. And I guess let's check our journal. I know we have to go visit Kolsch in his camp. It's still nighttime. Hour 5, so it's just before dawn. Alright, so we got a few things to do. We still have the main quest to go to Cadnua to talk to Merwald. He was a watcher. And we have to go to Kolsch's hidden encampment. I spoke to Lord Raedric, who had a different tale to tell. He asked me to confront Kolsch about his plans to usurp the throne and leadership over Gilded Vale and its surrounding lands. Raedric says that Kolsch can be found within the wilds known as Mogren's Fork. So we're heading to Mogren's Fork there. Spend time traveling with Durance. We may need to give him a chat. Fragments of Scattered Faith bring Eder to speak with Merwald, that is in Cadnua, for our main quest. And travel to the Black Meadow This is the blacksmith supplies. He suggests I might find some trace of it within the Black Meadow, which lies to the southeast of Gilded Vale. Alright, let's chat with Eder. Let's see if we can learn anything. Let's quick save before we do. I hope that old Watcher's still there. Been years since I've heard anything about him. What is it you want to ask the Watcher? Just some things about the past, about the war. I've been thinking I missed my chance to find out what I wanted to know. That old Watcher, though, he opens up some new possibilities. I was wondering about Eothas.
It makes two of us.
Do you still worship Eothas?
In my way. I don't suppose he expects me to show up at his temple these days. Not much left to do for him other than keep his memory alive and keep hoping that he's just been playing a joke on all of us these past 15 years.
Far as I know, he hasn't said anything to anybody since the Godhammer detonated. Why worship him? He grimaces. Well, if it turns out he's not dead and I gave up on him, I'd have betrayed my god twice. Even the god of redemption's gotta have standards. I'd probably be reborn as a fat Almawa's horse. That's not really it though. Not all of it anyway. He casts a sidelong glance. Guess it's more I still believe in the things he believed in. I just hope his death doesn't mean the death of those things as well. Sometimes it looks that way. Tell me about the purges.
You sure you don't want to talk about something more pleasant? Like the War of Black Trees or the Legacy or something?
It's eye-opening, seeing just how naked you are when you've got no god to protect you. The Saints' War was a hard time to be a Deerwooden. People thought it was the end times. They talk big about how we were going to defeat a god, but I don't think there was a man from here to the White March didn't think he was going to die. It does something to you, thinking you're going to die at someone else's hand. There's a rage that comes, indignation. Imagine a whole country full of that. Might have been Coldmorn that started it, town near the border. They let Waidwen march right on through. Rest of Deerwood cursed their names till the end of the war. Some say it was the Eothasians there that persuaded the town not to oppose the army. Others said it was just cowardice. It was like the Legacy that way. No one knew the real reason, so they just picked whichever one best suited what they wanted to believe. Either way, that town was burning before the first ashes of Eothas hit the ground, and it felt good to let the people here to be in control after being so helpless. So the fire spread. A lot of us Eothasians went the way of our god. There were claims from the Church of Magrin that she'd actually commanded the purges. I found that hard to believe. It sounded to me like people doing what they wanted, wrapping their god around it like she was a cloak. Then again, that's what I thought about Waidwen. Let's talk about something else.
What's on your mind?
Unpleasant, I guess. Fear of Thax doesn't really buy into the whole religion thing. Why did you stay here for so long if everyone hated you?
I'm sure my parents are still wondering the same thing. The Eothasian purges were like this madness had come over the town, like a disease. Seems like when you see something like that, your instinct is to wait for it to pass, even when you know it probably won't. The family whose farm I worked on, they had a little Hollowborn girl. And they heard the Animancers had this cure, the Salvation it was called. They went running. This Salvation, they were putting animal souls in children. You might have heard about it, giving them enough personality to care for themselves. You can guess how that turned out. Matter of time, the children broke down, became wild things, monsters. Anyway, these farmers put their family dog's soul in their little girl. For a while, the girl, she's making eye contact, she's feeding herself, albeit in a kind of messy way. And one day she snaps. They found her gnawing on her brother's bones. Had to chain her up, put her in a cow pen. Well, the mother, she wouldn't have anything to do with the girl after that. But the father, he'd visit every day. Feed her chickens, toss water on her once in a while to get the dirt off. Most of the village, they'd whisper about him. Poor man, they'd say. Sick with grief. he was just waiting for his daughter to look up one day and recognize her papa. He was waiting for her to get better. Didn't understand that at the time, of course, but these days I think about him a lot.
That was depressing. I'm just going to be completely honest. What did you do before this?
Oh, other than the war, I never strayed too far from where you found me. Farming, mostly. I was never much for cities. Never learned a trade. In my younger days, I thought I was going to go preach the word of Aethys. Just in our temple there. My parents encouraged it. I made so much trouble for them growing up. They used to say it'd be best if I got in good with the God of Redemption. Of course, us blowing him up probably didn't help my chances there. But if anybody'd forgive you for blowing him up, it'd be Aethys.
Do you have any family? Just my parents now. They took a ship back to Eder when the purges started. Wanted me to go with them, but I didn't see things like they did. Been a long time since I've seen them. I really should visit, but for some reason I haven't much felt like leaving home. Good thing they chased me out or I might have never left. Did they really try to kill you?
They did. It was strange timing, because we just won the war. They celebrated when I came home. There was music and dancing. Trumbull used half his grain making this big honey cake. I still dream about that cake. Like having the best lover of your life, but only for one night. And they were all sorry to hear about my brother. Took a while for word of the purges to reach us. Aethasians being murdered in the streets. Cold morn and the like. No way would they let something like that happen in Gilded Vale. That's what they all said. But the weeks went by and the purges spread. Pretty soon they weren't so sure my brother fought for Deerwood. And they weren't so sure I did. Caught me by surprise after all the celebrating. Should have seen it coming after the tailor said he was going to fit me for some new clothes, but then all he wanted was my neck measurement.
Let's go. You're a very depressing person, Eder. Let's chat with Durance.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skidding your knuckles on the wrong door.
Alright then. Good talk. That was a very enlightening good talk by our buddy Durance. Always helpful. Let's head on out of town.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Alright, so Mogren's Fork is where the camp is, and I'm assuming the blacksmith is going to be somewhere in this region over here. It'll take us 4 hours to get there. Let's do it. We need some combat to distract ourselves from that super depressing chat with Eder. I found the place where Kolsch and his allies meet. Kolsch waits within. It falls to me to decide his fate. Alright, so we have explored this whole area before. Maybe they're over here. Have we been in this house? I can't remember. I'm not sure if enemies respawn in this game. I guess that's something we'll soon find out. Pretty sure we've been in here. We have? Okay, so this is their camp. Ah! The helpful stranger. I'm glad you've come. Do you have news for us? Kolsch's brow furrow. Strange, I have not had word from the keep. Have you succeeded? Is Raedric dead? I spoke with Raedric. He had some interesting things to say about you. I see. Kolsch watches you a moment, taking a cautious step back. He would, of course. Whatever else Raedric is, the man is no fool, nor would he miss an opportunity to poison my allies against me. Was it convincing, then, this final desperate effort of a man who saw, standing before him, an end to his years of cruelty? The whole of his family worshipped Aethys before the Saints' War, and now he strives to make up for that misplaced faith by shedding his mercy. Whatever he has told you, Raedric's crimes are real. He will go on murdering his own people, his family. Kolsch's lips curl. What manner of lord is that? He lacks the honor of a mad dog. Now, I really, honestly, don't know what to do here. Because Kolsch just kind of seemed like, you know, maybe a stand-up guy that was worried for the people, and he wanted to see Raedric not be in charge anymore. But then we go to Raedric's keep, and we find out Kolsch is actually in the bloodline, in the family. He was a cousin, I believe. So he would actually get the throne. So his motives may not necessarily be pure. And if that's the case, and he becomes the leader of Gilded Vale, the Lord of Gilded Vale, by having his own family killed, then what necessarily makes him better than Raedric? I mean, we did find out, Raedric did admit freely that he killed his wife and his baby, which again I don't agree with. But I don't like the fact that Kolsch lied to me, and also we have a contract with Raedric. What am I talking about? We're taking down Kolsch. I'm sorry. Coin is our loyalty. Save your words. You won't trick me twice. So be it. I'm sorry I could not convince you, friend. I will see to it that you are given a proper burial. Bold words from a dead man. I did not get a chance to save before I walked in this building, so hopefully my words ring true and he is a dead man. We have 2 rogues, a priestess, an archer, a wizard, and Kolsch himself. I would like Eder, if you would be so kind, to take on Kolsch, and then hopefully the rogues and stuff will kind of fall in. If we could get a blind off on this wizard, and I'm kind of just going to go for spells here. Let's actually get a Bewildering Spectacle off. I'm going to put it in this region and hope that maybe we get him. And Durance, if you would be so kind as to drop a defensive buff for us.
Hey.
Alright, let's see how this goes. That was quite a large hit that we took right off the bat. The wizard's actually injured already just from the shot. I'm guessing just from the shot that she did. She's stuck, that's fine. She doesn't need to move to attack you. He didn't even get his spell off yet. So let's actually try to take out the wizard with the necrotic lance. We did get our buff off, right? There's our buff. Let's get ourselves an attack buff going on here. And let's actually use a combusting wounds on this rogue. And then that will give us, I thought it would have given us some HP back. Oh no, it's just burn. Okay. This one should give us some HP back. Let's go ahead and use our heal. Sabil's just down. I didn't even notice that. Eder's doing just fine. Hanging out over here in the corner fighting the rogue. See if we can knock down Kolsch again. Lay on hands on ourself. And if you could knock down that priestess, that would be great. And I'm still kind of scared to use some of these spells just because of friendly fire. That was a pretty good hit. Let's give him another one. He is dead. Exploded into all the little tasty gooey bits. Let's use our last necrotic lance on Kolsch here. Alright, Kolsch is down. Sabil went down, but other than that, it seemed like a pretty straightforward, easy fight. Kolsch has a fine saber. We'll give that to Eder here. He's also, we have the Spellwright's Tome. We'll drop that over here. And anything else special? We have a lot of coins, it looks like. Let's stash it all. And nothing super great. We have been in here before. Alright, so let's check out this weapon. Let's compare it to the flail. I don't like it as much. I'll say that right off the bat. It attacks slower, it does more damage. But we have we would get an accuracy bonus. That's pretty much all we would be trading for. But this we have draining, so we get the damage restored as endurance, which is great. And we also have a chance to convert grazes into hits. His interrupt's weak, but that life leech is going to be really nice for us. Let's actually maybe give it to her. And then just do that. And Aloth, let's check out this tome. We already know all of these. And we don't actually get more spells anyways, but yeah. Alright, so let's see what our quest says. I have slain Kolsch and thereby eliminated the primary threat to Lord Raedric's rule. Raedric has promised a reward upon my successful return. Okay. Well. Excuse me. I think it's time that we head up to
Right.
that place. Raedric's Hold. Let's head on over there. Black Meadow. Okay, so this is the area where we need to go for the blacksmith. But we'll do that later. Right now I want to go ahead in this quest to Raedric to see what's going on, and then probably wrap up the episode. Again, I'm trying to do the shorter episodes. That way, hopefully, YouTube has less of a problem with processing them. Hopefully, we can just walk right in through the front door, and it looks like we can. That's great. I didn't even think about trying that when we left. So, silly me. Alright, and we are back to Raedric. Excuse me for one moment. Got another tickle. Had to cough it off. Alright, let's have a chat with Raedric. Raedric nods. Have you brought news? Alright. This is what's tempted me right here. Attack, I've changed my mind. Let's end this here. Pretty much just straight up eliminating all government in Gilded Vale. That's what's tempted me. That's actually what I was thinking about as I was running through the keep. Like, I wonder if maybe I could just go ahead and kill Raedric anyways. And, you know, I mean, they're both trying to use me. We did have a contract with Kolsch, so I guess that's, or not with Kolsch, but with Raedric, so that's necessarily, or not necessarily good. The reason I'd say we didn't have one with Kolsch is, yes, we kind of agreed upon helping him out and getting a future reward, possibly. But Raedric here just flat out said, you know, I got money. I'll pay for this. If he's dead, we can take his money anyways. That's kind of how I see it. I mean, that makes sense, right? And he did kill his wife. I'm very conflicted on this. As Verithax as a character wouldn't attack. Me personally, I would attack, but I'm trying to do things as Verithax, so we're not going to attack him. We're going to fulfill our contract. Kolsch is dead, and the uprising with him. Dead so swiftly, a peculiar smile forms on Raedric's face, his teeth bared in fierce triumph, or else in pain. Then you have succeeded where a great many have failed. Would that my captains were half so efficient. Gilded Vale owes you a debt, for you have removed the greatest obstacle to its restoration. He makes a quiet, amused noise, and rid me of a persistent hornet in the process. I pay my debts. I have here a sword handed down within my family for generations. It is yours. May it serve you well in all your future endeavors. Raedric gestures to a guardsman, and of course, you will be paid. Now, Raedric lowers his gaze. Now I would bury my wife and look to the future. We have a great deal of work to do before Gilded Vale is truly safe. You have my thanks for your service. We received 500 copper and an item called Justice, which seems a little ironic to me. Let's check out the sword. It is a great sword, which sounds pretty cool. So we're using Justice here. Here, let's check out Justice. So it says this is the best damage out of the two. Not necessarily sure why. Crushing Lash. What is that? Plus 25% crush damage. This doesn't do crush damage. It does slash and pierce, which seems kind of weird. This sword was once used by a paladin as an executioner's blade during a long-forgotten crusade. Over the years, the paladin slew countless heretics, but as time wore on, his fervor slowly turned to fear at the unending evil he saw growing in his homeland. Tired of the myopic and ineffective approach of his superiors, the paladin swore to cleanse the corruption from the hearts of his people and took it upon himself to execute any who consorted with heathens. After finding a heretic hiding within a small village, the paladin put all its inhabitants to the sword for aiding the sinner. That night, the paladin woke to his sword being driven through his own chest, having been betrayed by his own men, who were guilt-ridden for their own complicity in his atrocities. This large sword seems to be covered in rust, but on closer inspection, the brown stains on the blade are, in fact, dried blood. Apart from the size, the sword seems plain. Its only ornamentation is hidden under the black leather wrapping on the ricasso, where an image of Wodica has been etched. Scratches on the etching indicate that someone once tried clumsily to remove it. Alright, so this one bypasses 5 damage resistance, or damage reduction, which seems really good. This Crushing Lash, plus 25% crush damage. Maybe it adds that in addition to this. So, say we hit for 20, we'll get an extra 5 damage as crushing, perhaps. We'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. Looks pretty cool too. Can we enchant this? Superb. It's already got 1 on it. Secondary damage. We just don't have the stuff to add. It already has 1 anyways, and slaying is all we could add after that. We'll try it out for a little while and see if maybe we can tell a difference. See if it seems like it attacks more quickly, or not more quickly, but stronger. I have much to do now that this matter is settled, but know that you have allies in the Vale. I'm curious if he did actually take his wife's body out of here. He did. Alright. This box. We do have lockpicks now. There was the person still in the keep, but I don't really care. I'd rather open the box.
Why not?
We've just unlocked it with mechanics, so that's good. We get a blunting belt. I believe we have one of those, and a scroll of rolling flame. Let's check it out. I'm pretty sure we have, yeah, blunting belt, pierce damage resistance bonus, and slash damage resistance bonus. This is the same thing. If we wear this, will we get any? We will. Very nice. That actually gives us quite a bit of pierce.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we got all that opened. Where does this go? The dungeon laboratory. I will head down here real quick just to see if maybe we can let the guy out. If we can't, I'm okay with that. Oh wait, we're stuck in this room, aren't we? Oh, I want to not be in here. Alright, well, sorry buddy, but you're stuck in the dungeons. Unfortunately, there's that animancer down there, and she's probably going to experiment on you, if you're not already dead. Well, I think that's probably actually going to wrap up this episode. We did a little bit of talking to Eder in the beginning, and you know, we learned some stuff, but it was also very depressing. We learned a little bit about the people that he worked for. They had the daughter that was the Hollowborn, and she had the dog soul put in her, which was kind of creepy. And we learned that, you know, he was a soldier in the war, and when he came back, he thought everything was going great. Everyone was, you know, happy to see him back. They were sorry for his brother, but then they turned on him when the purges came, and they started murdering all the Eothasians around. Very, very sad stuff. But we did finish our contract for Raedric. Hopefully now he will actually try to be a better lord of the lands and make up for things. Kolsch, if you had only, formally contracted me in the beginning, at least what I feel was a formal contract, then this would have ended completely differently. And again, as Verithax, we would have just, exactly like we did, we would have handled it that way. If it was me personally, I probably would kill Raedric too, but that's just me. Maybe you guys can kill both of them in your own game. Tell me how it goes. So, yeah. That's going to be it for this episode. So, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and as always, thanks for watching, and have a good one.